All right, we are live now. We are live. We are live indeed. It took like another couple tries, but we are good. We are good now. We are good now. We should be. We should be. I could see my chat. All right, that makes sense. All right, we are good. Now we are. I had to offer my opponent a draw, and he took it. Yeah, so now we are okay. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Supposedly. All right, so here d4. Do I want to play gambits? Probably not. All right, let's play g6. So the good thing about g6, you could also play it against e4 and d4. And there's no limitation here. You could also transpose to like King's Indian. c6, e4. So knight f6 perhaps. Knight f6. He doesn't want to see bishop g4. All right, castles. Potential e5. So now it's King's Indian. It does transpose, right? So it was like on the modern defense, like d4, g6, and then we transpose. Maybe play knight a6, sideline, some kind of e5. So the good thing about this opening, or I mean, the good thing about the modern defense, actually, I could have like played the modern defense and not so much the King's Indian. But one of the interesting stuff about like d4, g6, e4, g6 is actually you could always play the modern. Equivalent to the London, right? Some kind of a London. But you could also play g6 against c4 against knight of 3. So that's actually the goal is to play something against everything, perhaps. Do we have here an e5? Is e5 takes here the problem? I could always so e5. So here it may feel like it's a free pawn. I could take here, I suppose, as bishop takes. So he plays castles. I guess we could play something like queen e7. This bishop g5 though. H6, queen d2. Queen e7. Bishop g5. Maybe bishop g5 is this h6. I mean, I'm trying to get rook d8. That's a point. Something like knight b4. He plays queen e2. So I could play h6 and preparing knight h5. So I want to go to f4. You could also play knight h5 right away. We play here. Why not? Why not? Knight h5. He's trying to play b4. I guess the volume is good. If anybody could confirm, that would be nice. It should be good. Or it could be too low. I mean, you never know. It could be too low. Queen d2. So he's stopping knight f4. He wants to take. But I could also play g5. I could also play g5, so I could play knight f4, supporting the knight on f4. Actually, not sure about queen e2, queen d2. That feels like the queen moved twice in less time. There's also knight c5, which may allow here, and he may still play b4. Here, it sacks up, we sack a pawn, and maybe here, bishop c2, g5. the point of g5 is you want to play here, and if he takes, we could also take that way. He's so committed to play b4. Yeah, he's playing the King's Indian ideas, so it's difficult to see. But there's a move order, move order kind of thing that maybe this is okay for black. The point is you want to take this way. Perhaps you want to open up for this bishop. Rook d1. Here, I suppose he's gonna take. Because we are attacking the bishop, so this is kind of forcing him to take. I mean, I would like to take that way and, somehow get some kind of an attack, but it feels like it's a little bit too slow. You could always try h5, g4 in some line. So this way, so we could actually open up for the bishop. So there's some knight e5, knight c7, knight e6 ideas. There's also g4. I mean, there's plenty of ideas. Which one is more accurate here? g4, we want him to take, takes. Bishop e2 takes, bishop takes, knight c7, knight e6. Or knight here first. Or bishop e6. There's plenty of ideas. Let's do this. Maybe it's knight e6, knight d4. And he could allow this exchange. So the bishop gets to d4. And then we could play h5, d4. That kind of attack is probably good enough. I mean, this bishop looks very good for black. So King's Indian, if you allow this kind of stuff, the two bishops working together, it could always be a big problem. This is not the way to play with white. White had played some off moves here. And I actually could play in both sides of the board. I could actually play like a5. Meaning that here, weakening up the structure, allowing... I mean, actually e5 makes sense, but maybe knight e4 is... It's like kind of a move, so you could go to knight b6. You want to be careful when you make a pawn move. b6 becomes weakness. We just go for this. Maybe e5 next move, maybe. We are looking at knight e4. I mean, maybe he gets to play e5 himself. My concern is probably e5. e5, and then he gets his knight, yeah. So this feels like the right way to play e5. I may not so much worry about this, because now I moved a couple pieces, like when it was around here. The knight was not really active. Now the knight is active on e6. Okay, takes. You don't want to do this. Takes here, this bishop check. You lose a rook on d4. I actually misplayed this, knight e4. I may have misplayed. I forgot about knight e4. You may have to distract him by the pawn attack, like knight e4, g4. Knight e4 maybe. Knight e4, knight d6. I mean, that's not what I was hoping for. What is this check does? He wants to play here. All right, let's play this. Not looking good though, actually. This rook d6 happening. Rook d6. 94. Actually, 94 is bishop takes, so maybe he has to take it first. Excuse me. Oh, the board moved. Wait, the board moved. Oh, wait, now it's okay. Sorry about that. The board moved. You should have a lock here so you don't move the board, because sometimes I touch it a lot sometimes. Like I'm like, especially if you do like rook move, it's like you're closing in to the icon. There should be a way you could lock it so you don't move it back and forth, especially when you're streaming or recording. So I suppose you could take and then rook takes e1 back. I don't understand this move at all. Now I could play g4. I mean, this is being stopped. Queen takes. F3. We're trying to opening up lines. The more we open up the lines, the more we have potential attack. I mean, that's King's Indian, right? I mean, if you allow this kind of stuff, typically it could be a problem. Because he doesn't, he never get to do any kind of attack on the queen side. Like here, it's my turn. He took the pawn. All right, we could take here. That's fine if he takes back. There are some indications where I could start jumping back on 96, and some weaknesses could happen because the king might be exposed. My king is exposed, but there's no pieces around it per se. No pieces around it per se. I mean, he could take here, but then you're looking at some kind of pieces moving really fast. Knight c4. He still want to go this for, go for knight d6. He had it before, like, maneuvering the pieces before, but now it's a bit too late, I think, because I could take, I'm attacking d1. You have to watch out that queen h4 is coming in. Which queen h4, we're surrounding mate in 1. That's what it is. Here, bishop f3. This must be mate coming in. He cannot take here again. Checkmate, h1. Do I have a force mate somehow? Should be forced. G2 or H1? You could stop one, knight e3, but you don't stop. You could stop G2, but you don't stop H1. Checkmate. We could give him a rematch. No, he doesn't accept. Okay, that's good. I don't know if that's good or bad, but this guy is new though. Let's think. We'll try to avoid the new players. How's audio? Anybody's here though? I mean, can anybody confirm the audio is good? Nobody of you? Nobody wants to confirm? Nobody? Good, bad? Video quality, good, bad? D4. G6. So it's funny that E4 is you could transpose, but it doesn't matter if you want to play the modern. He's playing the London. Even people played the London against the modern. Well, even against the modern, there's a London. So C5, he cannot really take. There's bishop takes B2. You do have to be careful though when you play this kind of stuff. Like you always have to wonder about bishop g7 being like a strong piece. So we could castle here. Maybe it's like knight e4, knight h4, maybe. I suppose here. All right, we take e6. Oh, e6, we are hanging this pawn. Bishop c4 is actually interesting. Is he going for some weird tactic on f7? I could just castle, right? Could just castle. This move is, we just defended this way. So it's maybe knight b6. He's probably gonna castle long, maybe. There's also like e5 potential. Let's do it though. If he goes here, his knight takes here, takes on e5. Knight takes. I go here is castling long. Let's do it. We play here though. There's maybe bishop g4. There's a pin. He's defending it. Knight e4, I guess. He's not doing knight e4. Still could do it though. He could still do it the next move. Knight f3. All right, let's play. Let's play this. I'm trying to get some attack in. He plays knight e4. I don't disagree with that move. Looks like decent. Knight d6. Here, maybe g4. Then I go here, I suppose. I'm not sure about f3. It feels like it's too slow and maybe too passive because now I have b5. If I could start opening up lines, that's gonna be interesting. Like maybe e5. Should I be concerned about this one? b4 maybe even b4. a5. The idea is a4. I like this maneuver though. So here, rook d8. This is maybe rook d4. I could always take though. Could always take, but it's better to keep the two bishops now, right? Rook d4 is big move. Should he take? We have a pass pawn. He's looking at some kind of queen h2 sometime soon. I guess g4. It is g4 that I have to be concerned about, and queen h2. This move is very strange, though. I suppose I could sack and open up for the bishop, and some kind of a4. a4. Trying to go here. You could play knight f6. I mean, he might just do it. And this potential, like, back rank issues here. And I also may have addressed the issue with queen h2. Like, he plays here. That's, that's... I don't know about this move, though. This queen here, I'm threatening this. This is actually a big move, because... Alright, we play here. This has to be really good for black. I guess I could take on queen c3 though. If I take, it's queen takes, queen d2, queen back, bishop check. Let's try this. Trying to open up lines. Trying to open up lines. You might do queen e3 though, which is funny. Takes. I mean, how could he survive this position? D2 now? I had queen takes e2. I mean, that's... But maybe it's still good for me, though. Maybe it's still good. D2. And where do you think you're going, man? Where do you think you're going? Here, there's rook e8. Rook e8! Rook e8, folks. Yeah, he resigned, though. Alright, more games. D4. Let's try this. Takes. I played this yesterday. In yesterday's stream. Like if you guys follow where I play knight e2, knight f4, c4, h4, like this kind of. This one is a bit different though. The idea is like here, h4, and you know. See, this one is interesting because here maybe I could play. Let's take them. Could I hang on to the pawn though? I don't know about bishop f5. I'm not sure about this play though. I mean, this bishop e5. a5, I know, but bishop here takes is no b6. We attack on c6. So now we play 3, defending all these. So now I could always take because the queen is defending the rook. So if, let's say here, I could even do this. Rook takes, queen takes. I'm up a pawn here. I'm up a pawn, but you know, you do have to worry about these two bishops getting really active. I guess I could castle and then some kind of knight d4. You might do bishop g6. Bishop g6, maybe it's knight f4. e4. Knight f4. So now I might want to take it. I'm claiming I'm up a pawn. He plays here, and that's what I mean by you have to worry about the bishop getting active. Can he do this? Bishop takes? Oh, he didn't do it. He did not do it. I could take say here, I could take back. May as well pre-move it. Getting the rook out of the way. So he's never gonna attack on c3 or takes on b4. So if he takes on b4, I could just take that way. So now this is where the fun begins. Maybe c4. He wants to play bishop e7. That's actually clever, but bishop e7 is maybe queen c3. Maybe bishop e7 is take on c4. Your queen is under attack. King g7. I just want to check something about my audio. Let's see. Everything looks good. Okay. Everything looks good, I suppose. Okay, so he plays king g7. Mating ideas popping in. Suppose if here is just g3 though. So he took this way, and this one is interesting because this allows like a pass pawn at c5. And he may be looking at some kind of we could just play g3, so when he comes in here. I may have to be careful though, I'm giving some weaknesses around here. So trying to get my queen, defending my king. So these two pawns are passed. I mean, I don't know, like once you get out of the attack, and then things becoming easier to play. Maybe knight f1 and I'm okay. Knight f1 defending h2. There's no mate coming in. So I suppose I could play here. Maybe rook e2 is kind of interesting. He wants to triple stack maybe. Some kind of sack. Maybe knight f1 now. And then start pushing those pawns. b4, b5. I mean, it's already on b4, so it's b5, b6, c6. So the knight acts as a defense. And even if he does rooks here, which is interesting. Maybe I just do a simple move like rook c2. Rook c2, so we don't allow any kind of attack. Okay, so here I could just simply take the... I don't think once you trade one pair of rooks, the attack is no longer exists for black. Like h2, the king on g1 is safe. So I could actually take. I don't mind this. Maybe now I cannot move my pawn as easy though, but maybe we just play queen b3, queen e7, and then push the pawns. If I could just get my pawns moving. A bit random, but my current fader rating is 1659. Could you get any books? So, I typically in this rating gap, like anybody below 2000, even fitter rating, it's all about tactics. It's not specific book that you would learn. It's just all, like doing tactics puzzles, doing puzzles. It could be chess.com puzzles. It could be book puzzles. It's not openings. It's not ending games. It's just simply tactics, only tactics. That's my advice to you, though. Once you sharpen your tactics, then we could talk about different stuff like, openings, learning openings, different openings, positional chess, end the games. So queen b3. I'm not really convinced by this move. I still believe queen e7. But... How is the audio? Because nobody answered me before. Is the audio good enough? Hopefully you hear me well enough. This one is interesting. Okay, let's play here. He goes back, rook c1. I'm trying to get Trying to get these pawns moving. Audio is good? Okay, that's great. Yeah, so only tactics, to be honest with you, nothing else. I mean, that's how I improved myself. Like, I had no coach. If you could hire a coach, yes. I mean, that would be helpful. Like, the coach would probably tweak certain stuff on, and which openings to play. Some like positional ideas. But it's gonna be always gonna be like tactics. To just improve all the way to like 22, even 2000 fit rating. 25 b6. Now, could I play rook b1? He's stopping. He's stopping. Takes on b6, c7. No. The pawns are not moving fast enough, which is kind of a concern here. Let's play this. The pawns are not moving as fast as I would like to. I mean, if he trades, that's good for me, though. He's not. He's gonna keep the rook. Rook b1. It's gotta be rook b1. Rook b1, of course. The knight is not doing anything. Maybe I should consider doing this. Rook b1, king g2. But you do have to be careful that rook queen e1 is coming in. So maybe I'm kind of dreaming on that knight d2 is a playable move. I have to watch out that he may have an attack out of nowhere. He may have an attack out of nowhere. He's sinking here. I don't know why. He's probably considering... It should be rook b1. I mean, even queen e1, all these moves are not that great. Because simply the pawns are going to start moving fast. Way too fast. So he played here, okay. So I could play knight here, queen check, king g2. He doesn't have rook b1. Let's try it though. Maybe it's f4, which is... He checks, I play here. He doesn't have this. The knight takes. So the knight takes on b1. He's trying to get to play rook b1, which is actually crazy. That's a nice find. Knight's fine. May have to move the rook. So I'm stopping this. I could take with the queen, not with a knight, of course. So rook e2 is just stopping rook b1, pretty much. Because he's looking for an attack. This is all weaknesses, h1, g1, f1. So maybe my next move is queen here, even. Try to stop. If I could trade down, maybe it's okay for me. I have to watch out that I don't lose the pawns. Maybe queen c2. Queen c2. I mean, maybe it's his queen is misplaced now. Maybe if if we could find a way to trade something on queen c2, then it becomes a problem for him. We could actually try to get his king all the way to c6 if we trade queens. This is not an easy game. There's also queen e3. He plays here. Yeah, I can't take, right? He's attacking this pawn, and that's actually a big one. That's a big one. If I do this, I'm trying to see how deep this is gonna. This doesn't work. Like, the pawns are not fast enough. There's also queen b1. I was actually considering knight takes. Running out of time. One minute in this position is not easy. I'm actually attacking the rook, so he cannot play like rook queen here, just knight takes. He's probably going to trade queens. So I guess queen takes, rook c3 though. That's... If you play knight d4 is here, and it's he takes on c5. He's going to take the queen, of course, supposedly. Two pass pawns, and I cannot really promote them. Funny though. Maybe if he takes rook c3, if I could just get my rook to e8 and sack my knight c6. It doesn't work. The b6 is under attack. Maybe it's rook e6. So I'm actually looking deep enough here. Like takes rook c3, rook e6, takes c6. Sometimes those pass pawns like this cannot be stopped. He may have to sack a piece for it, but maybe he's okay because he could sack on c7. I could also play rook e3 though. But he may start playing king f8, king here, king here, king here, and it's... Rook b4 is not the same as rook c3. Rook b4 is it doesn't really attack on c5. This one does because the knight moves. Rook takes c5, and the bishop's still stopping b8. So this has to be the move. Okay, so if I play rook e6 takes c6, yeah, that doesn't seem to click in. Okay, we play here. Maybe the next move is b7. King e7? Oh, that's... Do I have rook e7? King g6. Wow, what is this? Not the right move, I don't think. Oh, wait. I give up my... Ah! Rook takes. Oh. Oh! And here. Blender is back and forth, but this hex should be winning now for me, I suppose. b8. He doesn't have rook b5. We queen. We have a piece. We have a piece. Piece is good enough. Should be. F6. Oh my gosh. F6 could have been a move. Okay, now I can play knight e5. Knight e5, king f2, defending e3, knight e5. Now we could looking at rook b7. He might do rook c7. He may have to do it. Rook c3 is rook b7. You're looking at mate on f7. Yes, indeed. Indeed. I mean, it's winning, but of course, it's gonna take more time. Knight takes f7, here, win the rook. I may have to move that here. g4. Six. Six. All right, we won. We play somebody else. This guy is new. I try to avoid new players, to be honest. Hey, Keegan, how's it going? How's it going? Yeah, that game was rough. That game was rough. E4. Yeah, I know, right? I missed. I'm not entirely sure if it's winning. Rook takes, knight c6. It's probably winning, yeah. Maybe winning. He just goes back and I could take on e5, but it's winning for him, yeah. f4, Vienna. So I guess the line is d5, yeah, d5. How's going, Keegan? How's life? Knight e4. Queen f3. The Vienna is actually a good opening, to be honest. So Vienna is always going to happen once you play like e4, e5. The knight c3 is always going to be Vienna. So f5, I'm d3. This is typically the line. Knight takes. You play d4, and I think queen g3 is the only move here. Bishop e6. This one is interesting. It's d4. Should be the move. So maybe I could play knight e2. Knight c6. d4. Knight c6, d4, knight f4. c5. Wow. All right, knight f4. Is it queen d7? Because you maybe, yeah, it's queen d7. If you move here, this may be e6, which it could get really scary there. Really scary to allow. Knight c6 is happening next move though, so knight c6. He takes bishop b4. Do I get concerned about this moves? All right, let's do it. Alright, let's do this. I like the fact that I have an e5 pawn here. It's actually already passing pass pawn, and it's bishop on e6 is not doing much. So I saw this, and I feel like I could play gambit style, king f2. I mean, it's not gambit style, but you know, you don't have to castle here. Bishop c3 is actually a move. Maybe rook d1 after that. You don't want to give up this pawn, though. This pawn is huge. He's attacking the rook and the pawn. That's the reason why it's rook d1. He didn't go for this. My king is sitting in the corner. I'm not sure in the corner. It's sitting somewhere. It's sitting somewhere. Bishop d3 is not playable. This pawn is attackable. And how about knight e2? It's maybe some weird f4 at some line. He makes us play bishop e5 and f4 is coming in. g5. Alright, let's play here. Stopping g5. It's funny that you could play like this, g3, bishop h3, and somehow you play king g2, and you just simply dance, you know, because you could actually castle, and white is still maintaining the c5 pawn, and d5 could become weakness. Like, you could even claim that. But knight b4 is the serious move, though. I mean, that's my concern, that he goes for like e2, and then you do have to watch out for like the a7 pawn. So he has to play actively, which he is right now. Knight c6 is a big move. If I play g3, it's knight takes e2, and I e3, knight takes c. This actually c2 is under attack. Yeah, that's not great though. It's not great. Not great. I'm just starting to think that maybe I have to pin this. Once he played here, like I had it to do bishop e5. I guess maybe this was my chance, so I could stop knight b4. And then you could play h4, g3, but I was concerned about g5. This is very strong move, though. Hey! Nice! Nice. Thank you, Keegan. Thank you. Knight b4. This move is rough, though, because it's attacking both pawns. This move is rough. If I play bishop d3, knight takes c2, and things are getting really difficult. The knight goes back to b4, and it's a little bit too much. g3 takes on c2, bishop g2. Okay, we may have to do this. Which one is more serious? It's actually e2. I mean, knight takes c2, maybe it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be down a pawn here, but it's I mean, maybe knight takes c2 is bishop g2. This concern that d5 is takeable. This one is really a big concern, though. A big concern, 92. The concern about 92 is just long-term a7 promote, like a5, a4, and And he just did the move. I don't blame him. This is a strong move. Strong move. Could I get some counterplay like bishop b5 takes, knight takes e6? That's my that's something to consider. Some kind of rook b1. You gotta try though. Oslo, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So if he takes here, knight takes e6. We are attacking the rook, but I still feel like rook c8, and he's still very good though. Maybe rook b1. Rook b1 after that. Takes, rook c8. He's also queen b2 in some line. So I'm attacking the rook. He has to stop him, you know, knight c7. If he plays here, maybe it's rook b1 right away. Queen c6. Knight f4. And some crazy knight b4. Rook b1. Something like that. Something like that. It's a strong pin though. Bishop d2. He cannot take. The queen is hanging. Maybe he's still counting for this one. Knight c3 then. All right, let's try it. Running out of options. Queen c6. Attacking the knight. Looking at queen takes c2. I mean, do I have to take on b4? That's kind of interesting. Could take on e6. Knight g5. Queen takes c2. Queen b3. He just takes here. All right, let's take. Queen takes. The real question is, could I trap this knight? Takes bishop d6. This knight? What's the situation with this knight? That's the right way to play. Yeah. So here, knight takes. All right, rook b1. Wait, what? c4. Rook b8, c5. Can't take because the queen was attacking. Oh, we could do this. Rook takes, my worry is still a7. Still a big issue. It's probably b5. b5 is actually pretty good. h6. He had b5. He wanted to play here, so it's the king situation for him. It's rook c6 is a move. Wait, what? What? Here's e6. Here's queen takes. Did we find a way? Did we find a way? Did we find a way? Yeah, that was a terrible blunder by him. Like, way too bad. Terrible blunder. F4 is a try. F3 is another try. Rook c7. Rook c7, sir. Rook c7. You always need to keep an eye. Oh, that's still okay. So here, rook c2. Rook check. I just take. Queen e6. Queen takes here if he plays king f7. Check, check. And we are likely winning now. I mean, it's winning, but yeah, it's winning. Queen f7. All right, rematch. So he didn't see where the queen is. The problem, though, I mean, I think I was lost. So around here, when I played rook c4, I was actually threatening rook c6. The queen cannot really... Oh, wow. This is actually holdable? Wow, I actually did not expect this. Maybe it's b5. It's b5 and it's not really holdable. It's actually... It's funny that b5 around here... Yeah, I'm talking about b5 now. b5 is actually a good move, yeah. It's funny that I could still hold this. I mean, I didn't like my position at all. Because the reason this is maybe some resistance for white, because this pawn's like this. It's like two passed pawns here, just like two pawns here. He's still up a pawn, but it's not necessarily means it's winning. Yeah, rook c6 was the only idea that I had. It's funny that I still do shack. Maybe this is why, the reason this is actually a draw. You have to take and queen takes. Yeah, this may be a draw after all. If you take here, it's actually a draw. e6 is a draw, but yeah, that's actually deep enough because actually there's e7 and queen d8. There's a lot of checks, and then you cannot still win this one. Yeah, so here he made some bad decision. King here, and I think rook c4, and I'm still holding my own. Maybe I actually felt like rook d8 was the only move. You know, and then rook c6, queen a2, and then it's just king g1. So obviously this is not take. I mean, this is actually e6. This is actually the issue in this position. This pawn is not moving, and then there's like if we play here, for example, there's rook c8. This mate coming in, queen f takes f5. I felt like I was lost, but it's interesting that around here. But here though, there's a critical move that he could have probably done. Yeah, there was like also I was looking at b6 myself. Or even rook. Yeah, b6 was also a move. It's actually what he did. Oh, he did b6. There's actually another move here. It was actually f4. Yeah, f4 is actually. So you could take, but if this were to happen, you're looking at this, and then I'm lost. So f4 is g4. It's probably a good idea to play f4 like this and g4. So this is already like a pass pawn. So you're looking at this kind of like pass pawn and pass pawn. Black is very active here. So, and then b6 perhaps, and then it's okay. This is a better position for him, right? You do have a pass pawn at f4 and then pass the pawn. It's hard to stop. So you can still play the same ideas, but it's a little bit different now. Rook d8. So you could see the other way around when during the game, he never get to play f4. So he didn't get like a pass pawn to move on f4. That was also like a scary move that he could have probably done. But it's good game though, it's good game. This is a new guy though. I try to avoid these new players. There's nothing wrong with new players. Sometimes it could be potential shooters, that's all. I never know. This one I know, I think. Tupac, this guy I happen to know. Alright, we could play g6. G6, Keegan. G6. G6. Modern defense. It's funny when you play d4, it could transpose like d4 g6. It could transpose just like I mentioned before. You could actually play King's Indian, but sometimes people would say, well, if you want to play King's Indian as well, you guys may as well play like Knight f6. But sometimes it depends on who you're playing. Sometimes people doesn't want to play like you could stick to the modern and there's a couple ways you could deal with this d6 even. So this actually like we are sticking to the modern. It could transpose between two moves. So e4, maybe even knight c6. Also knight d7. We could play here, but this may be shifting toward like King's Indian. It's okay though, it's okay. e4, e5. So openings really doesn't matter. You could see that, I mean, I'm just addressing the question to all people watching. Openings doesn't really matter in a lot of the levels in chess, like you could play the strongest opening in the world from beginner's perspective, and even like from 1600 or below or 1900 even. And you're not going to really improve. Openings does matter when you become a stronger player. So technically, when you're stronger, like you become a strong player, you understand what tactics is all about. You're not making tactical mistakes. H4 is interesting. Maybe it's h6 here, g5. It's also h5, but this allows like knight g5. We always need to be careful with pawn moves in chess because if h5, this allows a long-term weakness perhaps. So h6, if he plays h5, I could play g5. So it kind of stops that attack that he's trying to do. So regarding openings, just briefly though, nothing too deep on it. Once you become a stronger player and you're positional, you become like a positional player. So now you do have to change your openings. And this is where the coach would help because, the coach would be able to tell like if you're playing more tactical chess or you're playing more positional. Like for example, when I used to play OTB tournaments, in the beginning, I was only tactical player. Like tactics is everything for me. And then I hit 2000 USCF, which is equivalent to, let's say, 1900 FIDE rating. And then I hit 2100. It was also tactics, but then I couldn't improve. Like, then I started to learn openings. It didn't do much. I was still like between 2000 2100. There was something else. Like, you have to study something else, and I had to change openings, you know. But it wasn't really opening that put me over the top. It was really tactics. Bishop e3. So maybe it's like a crazy f5. Maybe we could do. This is actually where King's Indian ideas pops in. So f5 here, maybe even knight takes. I've seen pawn takes before. So, I mean, my concern is actually pawn takes on d4. Maybe we could still take with a pawn. We're gonna do f5. So when I became 2100, I had to study, like, you know, positional chess. Any specific idea behind it? So yeah, that's actually interesting. 97, so I could allow f5. That's actually the reason. When you play knight f6, I wouldn't have f5 at my disposal, though. So 97 is like, I'm looking at f5 at some point. But that's actually a good question, because you could say, well, knight f6 is good enough. But you could see that I was looking at f5 throughout, and then I was able to achieve it. But is it big move or not? We'll have to see. It's probably pawn takes. Probably pawn takes. Yeah, I mean, typically you want to play knight f6, but, you know, the reason knight e7 is just to play f5. And if you play the modern, because I play sidelines on the modern, like c6 line, where you do have to, at some point I could also play knight e7, depending on the line, but, you know, f5 is really key in some aspect. It doesn't have to be like the it doesn't have to be like, you could play f5 in the modern. It doesn't have to be like King's Gambit. I mean, not King's Gambit, King's Indian. He took the pawn. I'm actually a little bit. He's basically saying which way you gonna take, knight or pawn? His pawn takes is knight d5, f4. It's probably knight takes. I mean, that's knight takes is possibly the move here. My concern is here in some kind of h5. I mean, maybe that's a big issue. He may allow me to take on e3 and... Alright, we're gonna take with the pawn. He cannot play queen d2. This is actually f4, and that's one of the issues. There's also these two pawns in the center. They're really controlling some key squares. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if you have this later, f4. He may even do g3, which g3 is stopping f4, which kind of looks like passive to me. Knight d5. You could even castle though. Takes. Queen c2 looks passive to me. He may do queen c2. I mean, queen d2 is a big no because of f4, but queen c2, so he could castle long. This may make a lot of sense. This may be the idea, is to play here, so you could castle. Queen c2. I suppose I could do... I could also castle long. And the problem is for black is this bishop c8 is not moving. So I have to find... Yeah, he played queen c2. And this bishop f5... I mean, I should have probably considered playing bishop f5 at some point, like, but That's the reason why I said bishop f5, and there's no way I could jump. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, is to get my bishop f5. It's not that easy. Oh, we have to castle, I guess. Castle long. Maybe it's f4. This bishop c5 down. f4, bishop c5, I can't take this rook takes queen. Knight b5 is also in the cards. I mean, this is getting really sharp. It's also knight d5. The problem is I want to play like queen e8, but there's knight b5. Attacking c7. We'll do it this way. So now I'm looking at queen e8, but I couldn't do it when there's a big jump on knight b5. So the point of a6 is stopping knight b5, pretty much. Maybe b5 later, who knows? But the key idea is queen e8. So I just want to develop my knight on d7 somewhere this time, this year, and then getting the bishop out. Because if the bishop doesn't come to I mean, if the bishop's sitting on c8 like that, that's going to be a big issue. There's also bishop c5. I'm not sure how strong this move is. Maybe he wants to trade at some point, or keeping the bishop on this diagonal. Because once you play queen e8, f4 is actually a playable move. Because he cannot play here once you move the queen, because you could take on c5. That's possibly why he makes us do it fast enough. So he doesn't allow like queen e8 and f4. I mean, this idea is not entirely bad, like bishop here, and even take on e7 is not entirely bad. Is knight d5, so that's maybe it's playable, but then I still have the two bishops, so this is actually still unclear. Knight d5. Ooh. We have an attack. 96. This is more like a bluff or something. I mean, I could still take the bishop takes. Maybe that's actually the idea. Knight d5 or pawn takes. But even here is knight here, and we're gonna call this bluff. Maybe it's a bluffing pawn takes. Pawn takes. We stick to the same plan though. Maybe this is a bluff. Now here and queen g6, he doesn't have an attack per se. I mean, once you play here, I'm eyeing the defense. I mean, I was planning to play queen e8 anyway. This actually helps black with his idea and also with his defense. Once you play queen g6, f4. So he wants to open up lines, right? That's actually the argument. Opening up more lines. 56. This is actually another issue. There's also another issue. All right, we take. So we are opening up for our bishop somehow. This move is playable though. We want to get to e6. Okay, now let's bishop e6. He played a quick king b1. I have no idea why he did that. He played a quick. Let's play some g4. He's trying to get all the pieces involved. X. He wants to get bishop c4 in. Yeah. g4 stopping here. Queen g6. Actually, this looks pretty dangerous though. Bishop g7. Especially with 1 minute. There's 1 minute left in the clock. Actually, I was about to go queen g6. There's rook h6 here. Maybe you have to play bishop g7. But this is hanging up on, and it's crazy stuff happening in this position. Is it rook here? Rook d6. Dark here, sink. It's actually tough here. Bishop here, rook h6. Actually, rook h6 maybe does bishop g7, which actually we gain in tempo here. But what if he does rook here instead of getting hit by bishop g7? Bishop g7 though. And then we play here. So it's gonna be bullet game in no time. Like not even a blitz game. It's like bullet game. I cannot play here. He takes. The knight is sitting on e7, not in a good square. Here we just take. b5 was necessary though because bishop c4 in some lines would have been dangerous. Actually, this diagonal was kind of very strong. So b5 was necessary. So that's good to see. It's not good enough yet. He's g4. He's still committed to open up lines. I don't think that's actually pretty good for him. We play here. He takes, knight takes, bishop d3, and this is getting a bit scary though. Probably doesn't. I don't care about this pawn at this point. Is it f4? F4 even looks like I cannot do it. Rook h1, mating ideas, perhaps. Maybe c6, but this feels too much. Maybe knight here, knight d6. But he takes on f5. I have a long diagonal and I cannot really use it very well with the bishop. Wait, I just take this. Oh, he has here. Oh, and g6, that's nice. g6? You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, I've got to be kidding me. And what is this now? You cannot take on f5 with a queen, this mate. Okay, what the heck is going on here? I mean, that's... We draw. We drew somehow, and I we drew somehow, and I don't know. The game turned out to be really massive. Like a lot of things hanging, and knight f3, b3. It should be the last game, but this guy's competitive. You could see. This is Nimzo Larsen. Actually, Nimzo Larsen is pretty good opening as well. Like, it's equivalent to maybe the London. I don't think it's London's probably better. But it's also an opening that you could consider, like, you know, if you want to go back and, you know, you want to go between the London and actually the Nimzo Larsen. There's also the English, right? But there's a lot of theory there, even though you avoid some openings. You know, but I believe the London is probably good, like a good opening, probably good enough. And Nimzo Larsen, you still have to study some couple lines, and so knight d2, there's potential like e4, c4. We castle, knight c6, I suppose. Oh, he's taking though. He's taking knight c6. c4. I'm kind of shocked that knight c6 is not happening though. Maybe it's happening now. It did happen now, but stopping knight b4. He's claiming that this one is weak. d4 is weak. All right. We'll see, though, whether it's weak or not. Yes. Here, so I'm actually looking for some kind of attack here. I'm not even sure how to do it yet, but I'm looking at maybe knight e4. He's maybe allowing it, knight e4, and then making use of this bishop being on b2. So knight e4, if he takes, rook takes. May have to do this. There's also queen takes. Should he takes on e4, I mean. What is this move? I feel like I could just push. Yeah, this move is weird. This push. He goes back, it's knight takes. Oh, maybe I don't have d5 yet. But that loses a serious tempo, though, in a position like that. There's also like g3 as well. I mean, that's... g3, go back, h3, knight f6. There's also rook b1. Maybe I could trick him into like this. You know, I'm like as if I'm attacking b7, and then maybe I would play h3 and you know waiting for him to go here and take some d5. Maybe that's a good trick though. Let's try it. So there's nothing happening here. I mean, knight g4 is weird. Maybe he's looking at f5. It's maybe f5. But then you have to wonder if this is actually all weakening. All weakening, you know, he's weakening his pawns for no reason. I mean, I don't like knight g4. I mean, knight g4 just feels like it's... He just had to take, though, I think. Maybe he takes. There's ways to defend against this kind of stuff, but knight g4 just feels weird. Because he's not really attacking h2. The knight is sitting on f3. There's no, like, direct tactic. Yeah. b6. So yeah, so now he being a little bit tricked now because I wasn't really attacking b7. So maybe it's here, or g3 goes back, h3 goes here, takes, and d5. Maybe it's h3 and h3. And where are you going now, sir? Oh, maybe he's going here. Oh wow, knight e5. So knight e5 is interesting. Well, I mean, he cannot take here. The queen is hanging. This is maybe he's counting for, like knight e5 takes. Yeah, I mean that's what he's counting for. It's all right. We're gonna take. Oh wait, knight takes. Oh, now I'm playing really bad. I forgot about c4. That's a big issue. It's almost like crisis. I had to play queen e2. It's queen e2. Yeah, that's a big issue. Big issue because he just takes a pawn for no reason, pretty much. We just allow him. We just allow a free pawn out of nowhere, and it's not fun. All right, take another pawn. Yeah, that's actually terrible by me. Knight c2. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it. This is actually by far the best move. Knight c2. Attack here, attack here. I forgot that he could take the knight and the bishop. What else to do here? It's d5. I mean, he f5, we take on f4. It's actually not that great at all. Like, I'm actually losing. Losing because I give up this c4 pawn, you know. How many pawns did he grab? He, like, grabbed 2 pawns. He grabbed 2 pawns in a very strange fashion here. It's d5. Next. I mean, if he goes, let's say here is d5. We're threatening mate on g7. Could even do knight e5. It's where e5. Yeah. So this f5's coming in at some point. Crazy stuff happening in this position, to be honest. So here, knight takes, this queen takes. Here, bishop takes. Do I have rook g3 though? Some kind of tactic. Actually, the queen is under attack. Actually, no, hold on. Here. We'll give it a try anyway. Takes. Bishop takes. So I was looking at here because he cannot really. I mean, he could still do it. I suppose knight here. I'm looking at for some tactics. It's f5. All right. Trying to get rook g3 in. Let's see. I could see that a7 is under attack, but I mean it's actually lost, but I'm trying. We'll see if we could find anything. I'm assuming he's gonna take on e1, but he did not. Okay, that's interesting. Take. It's probably takeable. The fun part is actually he could take. I mean, I don't think it's. I'm trying to go for some kind of like knight takes, knight jumps, along with the bishop attacking on g7. It's not enough, I don't think. It's not enough, of course. I mean, I might be threatening this right now. He's doing this. Here's f5. That's great, then. That's great. Still bishop here. He may just do f5. Queen c2, I guess. Not looking good, though. Not looking good. I mean, he's not gonna take it, but you know. Still blitz game or bullet game. Anything could happen here. Black is winning all across, but we'll see. I mean, you could do like even here. '94. At some point is queen c2 though. Actually, maybe I'm still defending, so maybe it's still not easy. That's the reason why he's sinking. The spin might be annoying him. I mean, you move out of the way. He's just okay. So he took. That's interesting, though. Very interesting. Yeah, we're not gonna. He wants to play queen e5. So here is met by queen takes e7. I mean, I'm down just 2 pawns. Wait, it's here? Knight h7. Grab a pawn in the way. Of course, he made a mistake, but is it enough? I feel like he's still winning. He's still winning. Wait, what? Feels iffy, a little bit iffy here. I mean, oh, he just takes here? That's crazy. Crazy! King takes g4. Yeah. That's over, actually. Rook f1 and... checkmate. Yeah, it's... He misplayed here, of course. Maybe I had some weird comeback. Computer probably finds... It's gonna find always a way to win. Yeah, so he's still winning here. But however, here... Yeah, he's still winning here. Queen takes g7 is not gonna save the day, fortunately. I actually felt like around here there was like some kind of f3, but it's not happening. Like f3 here, knight e2, but he could just simply play rook d2. The idea is his rook moves away and then I could take on c4. That was never the case. Here, there's no way that he did play well. Yeah, even here, and it's... Yeah, there's no way to defend this. Good game, though. Good games. Good games, though. Good games. We still like 2400, though. We still back to 2400. So I do stream twice a day most of the time now. Like I do rapid games. in Lead Chess and also chess.com, just like right now. And Twitch is actually what I do, like blitz games and bullet games, and also like chess puzzles, like Puzzle Rush, and I get people involved and just to do the puzzles together. As long as it's your own stuff, right? Like you're not getting assistance anywhere. Just your own ideas. So I should be back later today in Twitch, likely. If it's not, then this next day. I try to stream every single day though. That's actually the goal. It's been that way for a while. It's happening. There are sometimes where I can't really stream. There's also YouTube videos that I haven't posted one recently, but I will. Like we should, it's gonna be separate videos, maybe more rapid educational stuff, like even some openings. Um, so today's maybe I should be back later today. We might probably gonna do puzzles. Like I'm doing Puzzle Rush 60 right now, so we may continue that. And then sometimes I could play Blitz games in between. There's something else. Yeah, thank you, Keegan, for the gifted membership. That's always good. Any kind of support is always good. So we'll be back later today, folks. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the games. A couple blunders here and there, but nothing really major. But it's still learning, experience. It's not that easy to get to 2400. You still get to play strong players. This guy is very strong though. He's very competitive. He always play like tactical stuff. He's also could be positional when he wants to. So those games are really competitive. They're also educational, and so hopefully you guys enjoy that. We'll be back later today. The goal is be back later today, if according to the plan. According to the plan. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. We're gonna keep going, and we're just gonna continue. So, what's on the YouTube, on the streaming on YouTube, it's gonna be like this most of the time. Like it's always gonna be like rapid and explain the move as they go along. All right, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later. Take care.